Bandhav Shri Guru Param Shri Rupanuga Pravaram Brajaratharathikam Narayanam Tam Prapannam Shri Guru Charanam Vande Ramana Prestaya Bhutale Rupanuga Bhaktinam Cha Kripa Murti Narayanam Seva Kunja Vajaramya Govardhana Girau Sada Radha Kundela Sarande Tat Seva Pradayakam Gurum Narayanakyam Mande Vinoda Preshtakam Yat Padasmriti Matrena Damodara Prasidati Namam Vishnu Padaya Charya Singha Rupine Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava iti namine Atimartya Charitraya Swasitanancha Paline Jiva Dukkha Sadattaya Srinamate Madayane Gaurashaya Vigrahaya Krishna Kamaika Charine Rupanuga Bhavaraya Vinodeti Sarupine Prabhupada Antarangaya Sarvasat Gunashaline Maya Varatamagnaya Vedantartha Vidhe Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhadevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my Shastaganandavat Pranam thousands of times to Lord Shri Paramarajatam Guru Pada Padmam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shri Sriman Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev. Secondly, I offer my Shastaganandavat Pranam thousands of times to Lord Shri Param Gurudev Nishthar Prishtam Vishwasala Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Gosai Maharaj, who is divine Vyas Puja Avil Bhavati we are celebrating today. And I offer my Shastaganandavat thousands of times unto the Lord Shri Shri Rupanuga Gauri Guru Varga. And I offer my Shastaganandavat Pranam to all the Vaishnava Vaishnavas. Today is a very auspicious day. Today is the Vyas Puja Tithi, Avirbhav Tithi of Param Gurudev, Srila Nitya Vishtam Vishtamaj, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Gosai Maharaj. Vaishnava wanted to say a few words on this auspicious occasion. So I'll try to say a few words of glorification, Pushpanjali to Lord Srila Param Gurudev. The Gurudev, in his life, he has actually written only one book. And that is the life teachings of the Bhakti Keshava Goswami Maharaj. All other books Gurudev published, they were actually books about Goswamis, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He published all these books. And many books were made from his classes, but one book that was penned, actually handwritten by Gurudev, was this one book. Life teachings, Acharya Kesari, Srila Bhakti Keshava Maharaj. Gurudev, he himself said, I'm so proud of this book. Why? Because this book, he said that it is like an ocean inside a glass. Everything is there, from beginning to end. Gurudev would use the term, it is so pregnant, full of like esoteric truth, Tattva Siddhanta, Rasik Vichar, everything. That if anyone reads this book, then they'll become Tattvagya. They'll become knowledgeable, realized in all Tattva. Not only that, they'll become also Rasik. Because Param Gurudev, even though he was such a Vedanta, scholar in Vedanta, such a Tattvavid Vaishnava, but he was also not only Tattvavid Vaishnava, but he was a Tattvavid Rasik Vaishnava. There in that biography, there, Gurudev gives 3 different instances showing how Rasik actually Param Gurudev was. We know how externally he was so, logic was irrefutable. And he had such an interest to study Vedanta. He came at a very young age. He was one of the first to join the Murmat, join Prabhupada's mission. His 2 aunties, Saroja Vasini and Priyatama Devi, they were both disciples of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. His mother, Bhuvana Mohani Devi Dasi. His father, Sri Krishna Chandra. They were landholders, zamindars. But he was not born in any ordinary family, very high class family. And from his childhood, so many symptoms were there that he was a great Mahapurush. From the beginning of his astrological chart, the Leela of Garud himself coming, picking him up. His mother put, in Bengal the custom is, they rub mustard oil on the babies. They put them in the sun. Then they become very strong. So then, she did like that, and then what happened then, big eagle came down and swooped that baby up and flew it into the sky. Seeing that, everyone raised their alarm, and seeing that she felt like her life had left her body. The Vaishnava gave a secret tika to this. Then Garuda said, oh, this is eternal associate of Radha and Krishna. What is he doing here in this Jat Jagat? I'm going to take this Vinod Manjari, take him back to spiritual world. Then Garuda was taking maybe Vinod, he was giving the name actually Janardhan. His childhood name, Janardhan. His nickname was Jana. He was flying in the sky, but then Garuda got the order from the Lord himself. No, he has come to this world for a special purpose. Do not bring him here. So then he came down and placed him on some debris that was floating in a nearby pukur pond. In Bengal, everywhere you go, they have these pukurs, ponds. In every village there will be like 5, 10, 15 pukurs. So he placed it there. And he was floating there, then they went and they brought him back and placed him in the hands of his mother. Many instances. But anyhow, he was brought by his aunties there to Mayapur when he was only 15. It's the first, when he was 15, I think that was the first time he had darshan of Prabhupada. And that time after the Navadip Parikrama, then Prabhupada was sitting there giving darshan. And that time Prabhupada was explaining that very soon I am going to open up first temples in all 9 islands of Navadip. Then from here we're going to open up branches all over India. Then after that we're going to open branches all over the world. Then this Priyatama Devi and Saroja Vasini, they were smiling and said, oh Prabhupada, your vision is very great. And we cannot wait for this vision to come into fulfillment. But we have one doubt, that we do not even have here brahmacharis to ring the bell. Why? Because Narahari Seva Vigraha, he would do the arati. And then Prabhupada would ring the bell during arati time. Gandharvi Giridhari. There was no one. And maybe there was one brahmachari singing like that. In the beginning it was only Narahari Seva Vigraha, Prabhupada, there was one Vaishnav Das Babaji. Then came this Kunja Bihari Prabhu and this Paramananda and Param Gurudev. He was the first to join. So then Prabhupada, he was smiling, said, no, we will manage all these temples. He pointed, we know how to manage all these temples. And really that came to fulfillment. Then he became the superintendent, manager of all Gaudiya monks. Kunja Vihari was the general manager, and the superintendent manager was Param Gurudev. So specifically Mayapur's responsibility was under the direct control of Param Gurudev and Narahari Seva. Together they would manage. But Narahari Seva would give so much love and affection. He was the Gurudev used the term the Florence Nightingale of the Gaudiya monk. Florence Nightingale, I think, was one nurse during the World War I or II. She used to take care of the soldiers and nurture them, help them. No one was there to help them, she was helping. So this Narahari Seva, he was helping all the brahmacharis. And he was like a mother for everyone. But Param Gurudev, he was more on the managerial side. He had 2 horses. He had a whip, a rope, and he had suits, everything. And he would go on these horses and he would tour the land. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was very intelligent. When he realized that this Navadip Dham, this Mayapur is the birthplace of Mahaprabhu, he was that time the district magistrate of India. In India, only that time, there was only 3 Indians of all India that had this position of being a DM. Even now, district magistrate, you go, they have so many huge territories, like this DM of Mathura. It's not only Mathura, but it's Vrindavan, all like Govardhan, all these neighboring these jillas, all these places they come underneath. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had a huge area under his control. So when he realized that this Mayapur is the birthplace of Gauranga, he started purchasing so much land there. Yoga Pit and all these places. Then Muslims were living there. Their name is Miyapur. He purchased all this land, like so many acres, hundreds of acres. And then when Saraswati Thakur came to like age, he was like 18, 20, like that, and he saw that he had no desire for worldly studies, worldly anything. He tried to engage him, he sent him to the king of Tripura to teach his son, and he saw that nothing was working out. And finally, because you go here and manage this land, do bhajan here. That's when Prabhupada, he chanted for 7, 8, 9 years, he chanted 1 billion names of the Lord. And he was established his Akara Rajman. So, all those lands, everything, a lot of responsibility. Param Gurudev, he would go here and there, he would take care of the land. And people, some Muslim tenants, they were not paying their rent. Param Gurudev, he went to one area, and none of them wanted to pay their rent. Then he found out from some sources that there was one leader there. That leader, he was encouraging, he was giving hope and strength to the other villagers. But him not paying, everyone else felt that we also don't need to pay. This is the problem. So he thought, if I take down this leader, then everyone else will pay. So he took the leader, and he gave a few good slaps, tied him up, took him on his horse and took him to a tree and tied him to a tree. And punished him there. Gave him a few slaps here and there, then everyone could see, the leader is bound to the tree and he's not letting him go. Then, you will pay or not? Then he said, yes, I'll pay, don't punish me anymore. And when he paid, everyone started paying. Param Gurudev was managing on this side. And not only that, he did so much great service for Mayapur. His Chandrasekhar Bhavan was actually a Muslim graveyard. Prabhupada, one day he was looking very worried. Param Gurudev asked, Prabhupada, why are you looking so worried? And he mentioned, this Chandrasekhar Bhavan, this Mahaprabhu's eternal associate, now he's in the hand of the Muslims, the graveyard, they don't want to give up. And Param Gurudev became silent. Then what he did with Narahari Seva and many others, first they got big pots. They planted trees in them. And they had like this, big trees in these pots. And then, in the middle of the night, they went there, they kicked over the graves, threw them in the Ganga, and they planted all these trees, and took some dry leaves and things, and threw it on the land. In the morning, it looked like a big jungle, big garden. But in India, the rule is, the law is, if there's any graveyard or if there's any temple, or especially anything related to Muslims, then you can't touch that land. But by throwing the graves, then that means the land was free for cultivation. Prabhupada could do what he wanted with it. So then they put a court case. And they sent the inspection. When they came for inspection, they thought there were no graves here. They only saw the big trees. And they dismissed the case. Also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Samadhi in Swananda Sukha Kunj. It came under the control of the brother of Prabhupada, Lalit Prasad. But Lalit Prasad, he was not actually in the pure line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And definitely not in the line of Prabhupada. His teachings were different. So Prabhupada never appreciated him. He was very upset. The Param again, he also gathered so many people, paid them the money, they all lit torches, put sticks in their hands, and they started marching towards this Gurudev. And they were all shouting, "Where is Lalit Prasad? Where is Lalit Prasad?" Making a big commotion. Then one or two of the servants, they were there, they saw this huge crowd coming, they ran back to Lalit Prasad. "Oh, they're coming for you now, they're coming for you." He saw the crowd, immediately he ran from there. And then that Sananda Sukadakun came again under the control of Prabhupada. When Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj Samadhi was on the western side of the Ganga, where outside, where Amati, he was on that side before. But the Ganga was shifting course, and in Bengal when the Ganga shifts course, then whole villages get wiped out. Because the water is so big, so much flow. So the Ganga was going to sweep away the Samadhi. That time, Param, in the middle of the night, he went there and he transferred that whole Samadhi there to Mulmat, Brajpatta, and planted it there on the banks of Radhakund. So for all these services, Prabhupada became so happy. Therefore, on one Gaurapunim, then he gave Param Gurudev the title Kriti Ratna. Kriti Ratna means like touchstone, but transcendental touchstone. Kriti. Kriti means what? They said that Nātasya karam karanam cha vidyate Nātas sabas chapyādaka chidishyate Parasya shakti vividāya shuyate Svabhaviki jnana bala kriya cha. Here kriya means ladini shakti. Kriya shakti, to work, to do, be active. When we say kinkari, kinkari means king. What? Kari, what am I going to do? The maid servants are always in this mood. This kriya shakti, ladini shakti. How can I serve? How can I be active? So, this kriya means ladini shakti, radhika, herself. Her potency, Swarup Shakti. Therefore, Kriti is the same word, it's kriya, synonymous. It means Kriti Ratna. Param Gurudev is the jewel, the Ratna of Srimati Radhika herself. He is the embodiment of this Seva Vritti, embodiment of service to Srimati Radhika. And therefore he is always engaging in Mayapur Seva. What is Mayapur? Mayapur is Radhika's own place. 9 islands of Navadvip, the middle is Antardvip, that is Radhika's place. It is Yoga Pit, that is where Radha Krishna are performing their intimate pastimes, Radhika's Kunj. And all the other 8 islands, they are the Astasakis, they have their own island, their own Kunja. Therefore Navadvip is Radhika's place. And therefore this Mayapur Seva, Param Gurudev is so attentive, like the maid servant of Radhika, serving Mahaprabhu, serving Param Gurudev, Prabhupada. Therefore he is the Kriti Ratna. He is a jewel amongst all sevaks, jewel amongst the maid servant of Srimati Radhika. And anything he does is successful, is perfect. And the Vaishnava have given also special explanation of this word. He said, not only that, but anyone who comes in contact with Param Gurudev, then they also become like this. Like a touchstone, anything you touch to, it becomes gold. Just by coming in contact with it, it becomes gold. So, anyone who would come in contact with Param Gurudev, he would also make them perfect in that way. He would engage them in Prabhupada Seva, Mayapur Seva, and they would also become qualified, fully absorbed in this Seva, dedicating their lives to Prabhupada's mission. Therefore he was given his name, Kriti Ratna. Param Gurudev, he joined when first time he had come, that was 15 years. But then he went back to his school. He had to take care of some land and this and that. Then one day he was in school, he was arguing with his teaching. They were giving him some personal commentary on Chaitanya Charitamrita. Param Gurudev smashed them. He had heard directly from Prabhupada This is not the meaning of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Who has... And he corrected his teacher in such a way, giving irrefutable logic and argument and quotation from Shastra. Jiva Surabhai Krishna and Nityadas. Jiva is an eternal servant of Krishna. There is no possibility of Jiva ever going one with the Lord. Only in Dharma are we one. That is Prem Dharma. Then after that, Param was thinking, what am I doing in this school? Am I teaching the teachers? Are they teaching me or am I teaching them? Then one day he read a slok. Bharata manusya hoila janmajar, jivana satya karo paropakar. Anyone who has taken birth in this land of Bharat, then they should make their life successful and then they should help others. Prabhu kohe, jare dekhe tare kohe Krishna pade. Amara guru hoy tare de. So he reading these verses, then he understood. This is my life is not for wasting time. Not for all these things. Managing familial ancestral lands and studying all these different topics. No. He was even like Swami Maharaj, he was even a part of the freedom fighter movement. British getting independence from India. When he gave up all those things and realized my life is only for one thing, is making my life successful and helping others. I should surrender myself unto the lotus feet of Prabhupada. Therefore, when he was 18 years old, then he surrendered himself fully unto the lotus feet of Prabhupada. And then, that time, actually before that, even before he joined here, he even had darshan of Babaji Maharaj. See, before he was even initiated. Prabhupada, he sent him where? To his own Guru Maharaj. This is the nature of Guru. Guru never is going around, oh, you are mine, you are mine, you are mine, you are mine, you are mine. This one is doctor, I will initiate him. Oh, not like that. They see that Vidya Vinaya Sampanaya Brahmana Gavi Hastini Sunita Sapaketa Pandita Samadarshana. Everyone is a channel servant of Krishna. They are all equal. And so, Param Gurudev, he came there to this Mayapur and he surrendered himself under Prabhupada. Prabhupada sent him to Babaji Maharaj for his darshan before that, and he came. And Babaji Maharaj blessed him. Babaji Maharaj was not giving any darshan to anybody. He locked himself in the toilet, chanting Harinam. Even Keshava Gauri was there on the balcony, there Param Gurudev's toilet is there. Very hidden location. Vaishnava used to go there and hide there and sit there and chant their japa there. Vaishnava was telling me on Katha just recently. Yeah. Yes, that Guru Radhastami time. And Gurudev told the Vaishnavas that to always complete your Harinam. Very strict. Never neglect your Harinam, always chant. That time Vaishnava said he was chanting 32 rounds. And sometimes 1 lakh, but the time Lord Seva, so he would chant. So he thought, Radhastami there, I'll quickly go there, I'll finish my Harinam first, then I'll do all the cooking and everything. So right after Mangalarti, he went there, hid there in Param Gurudev's toilet, chanting the Harinam. And Gurudev was moving around, looking for Babaji. Where is he? Why they not start to cook already? They were shouting. But then Babaji thought, no. So Gurudev ordered Harinam. After I'll send my Harinam, then I'll go to the cooking. So for me, no problem, cooking 1 hour, I'll see just this. Gurudev was so upset, he took water, threw it in the chula, and went into his room, locked the door, didn't come out. Then the Vaishnavas, they came out, they saw, who has put all this water in the chula? Gurudev probably was shouting, hey, it was nonsense throwing all this water in the chula here. Then someone said, oh, Gurudev has thrown. And Vaishnava became a little quiet, oh. Then he understood, then he took all the water, cleaned everything, and cooked everything, very nice preparation. Then after some time, later when it was time for the mature, all the bedlars, they bring the baskets, they bring. Then Gurudev would come and welcome them. He came and he saw all items ready there, rice, curry, halwa, puri, sabji, everything. Gurudev very pleased. Then later when Vaishnava went to Gurudev, Gurudev asked, hey, where are you in the morning? Your order to chant Harinam? If I was chanting my Harinam, then after. So now when there is festival days and some days, then you have to chant your Harinam later. First Guru Seva, then your Harinam. And that Gurudev has written that in the actual purport. Two kinds of seva. One kind of seva, he'll chant all his rounds, he'll wake up everything, do all his own sadhana and everything, and if there's time then he'll do some Guru seva. Another kind of Guru seva, he'll make sure all his Guru seva is finished, everything, responsibilities, and if there's time then after doing that, then he'll do his complete sadhana, even if he has to give up his sleep. So the second type is superior. One who first takes responsibility for Guru, that's seva gives. He is more advanced. Because he's taking responsibility. Buddha said one who doesn't take responsibility in one's life is like an animal. Just without horns and a tail, that's all. Vipada Pashu, two-legged animal. So, this sense of taking responsibility, this is Prabhupada's line, this is Param Guru's line. Gurudev said Param Guru took his life in his hand and he said Prabhupada. He was saying in India, take one's life in his hand means someone who doesn't take responsibility, the life is not in their own hands. They are being influenced by the modes of material nature, by their own mind, by their own desires. They are being moved, thrown here and there in the waves of material ocean. They have nothing. They have no life. They are like a puppet, a piece of straw in a turbulent ocean. But if someone who takes his life in his own hands means he's surrendered his life completely to Guru, received this spiritual potency, energy, and now they are able to surrender. They have independence. Vidi marga rata jane, swadi nata rata jane, rag mar karuna pravesh. Someone who follows all rules and regulations with the aim and object of remembering the passions of Radha and Krishna, associating with Rajasic Vaishnavas, then very soon they'll switch from Vaidhi Bhakti, they'll switch onto the path of Radha and Bhakti. They'll attain this jewel of supreme independence. Independence doesn't mean that you do whatever you want. Independence means you have the Shakti, the strength to serve Guru according to his desires. That is real independence. If you're not bound, you're not controlled, you're not obstructed by your mind, your body, by all these external obstacles. If you are obstructed in this way, then you are not independent in any way. You are dependent on the material nature. So, dependent by so many ways. But if you have this independence, you can really serve. Therefore, what is this? Swadinada Ratna Dana. What is this jewel? What is this Kriti Ratna? This is jewel Param Gurudev has. So he is this jewel. He is this independence. He has this mood, this sort of this Keshava Radhika. He has this Seva Vritti. This Seva Vritti is the real jewel, wealth of the Jiva. Without this Seva Vritti, there is no Shraddha, there is nothing. There is no question of Prema, developing Prema Bhakti. There is no question of even Shraddha developing if you don't have this Seva Vritti. Therefore, Gurudev said, the Bhakti Lata Bij is Krishna Seva Vasana. It is a desire to serve Krishna. So, Param Gurudev, he took shelter of Prabhupada. That time he asked Prabhupada. Prabhupada gave him Diksha mantras, it was God Purnim Day. Then he gave all the mantras, but there was no Guru mantra. Prabhupada that time was not giving Guru mantra. Then Param Gurudev humbly looked at Prabhupada, oh, you have not given me Guru mantra. Is it necessary for me to go somewhere else to seek this Guru mantra? Then Prabhupada became silent. Then for the first time he gave this Guru mantra. So if it wasn't for Vinod Bihari, it wasn't for Param Gurudev, this Guru mantra that you are all chanting now, no one would have this mantra. He brought it into this world. Inspired Prabhupada to give. So as the Vaishnava, Prabhupada, he was so humble. Even though he was such a learned scholar, he was so advanced. Anyone would offer him pranam, he would say, Das Osmi, I am your servant. He didn't have this abhiman. That I am something. That abhimana surapana gaurava shuddharorava patista sukravishta taktam dhyanam harishvajat. The one who has this false pride is like intoxication. It's pure hellish condition. It's like the excrement of a pig, hot screw. They want to give up all these desires for self-prestige and just serve the Supreme Lord. So Param Gurudev, he was serving Prabhupada in Mayapur in this way, so many ways. And he was so learned actually, but no one could understand. He was very unorthodox. Sometimes he would cross the river, the Ganga. They have these big boats. You climb on the boat, and you wait for it to fill up, and you pay some money to the boatsman, and he takes everyone across in one shot. Param Gurudev would come with his horse and ride up to the boat and say, Chalo. The boatman said, what do you mean, Chalo? There's no one on the boat. Only when it's full I'm going. Here, take 1 rupee. It's the cost of whenever you fill up the boat, you earn about 1 rupee, right? He said, yes, okay, here, take the rupee, now take me across. I have no time. Then he would start the boat, Param alone would go on the boat across. Then some Madhvasis are seeing this. Oh, he's wearing suit. Or Param Gurudev, he's not coming for arati or anything program sometimes, he's so busy. Or he's wearing turban, he's spending money left and right. Then one sevak, some people wrote a letter to Prabhupada. Vinod is this, that, so much complaint. So Param Gurudev, Prabhupada, he wrote back letter. Said Vinod Bihari is the Vaishnava from birth. One who doesn't recognize him as a Vaishnava, then he is not himself, is not a Vaishnava. He is not some low caste like you guys. You're born in this low caste family, this and that. No, he's born in a very high class family. Therefore his standards are very high. His standards were not for himself but for Radha Krishna Mayapur Seva are very high. He has a very high conception of Seva. Therefore Prabhupada was very strong like that. Later on, Naratananda Brahmachari, he was in that, I think it was Delhi Mutt or Bombay Mutt, where the original complaint came from. Later he showed that letter to Param Gurudev. So he was preaching with Param Gurudev later, after the discipline of Prabhupada. And he told Param Gurudev this. Also, Param Gurudev, Prabhupada has written in response like this, and in your defense. So, Param Gurudev is very, in so many ways. People thought, he don't know any Harikatha, don't know anything. Because big Pandits and scholars and Prabhupada would give them titles. Padesha, Mahaupadhyay, Maha-Mahaupadhyay, and so many great titles. Then they thought, Param Gurudev, he Kritida, okay, he's doing somebody's manager, but he don't know Siddhanta, he don't know any Harikatha, nothing. Then one day, Ananda Vasudev Prabhu, he was like one of the scholars, literally, he was publication department scholars of Prabhupada. And Ananda Vasudev and Sundarananda Vidyavinoda, these were the two most brilliant scholars of Prabhupada. They could, despite that time there was no computers, no tape recorders or typewriters to type. They had a thing called, I think it was stenography or something, shorthand. When someone speaks, you write in code. And then after you can decipher that code and write the whole, word for word, exactly what the person was saying. So they were very expert in all those things. And people, after class, they would come to them and they would explain the classes after. So they were very highly revered, and all tattva and everything, that was their department. So this Ananda Vasudev came looking for Vinod Bihari, Brahmachari. Came to his bhajan kuti, he saw him, he was reading Sat Sandarbha. Ananda Vasudev, hey, what are you doing? Sitting here reading Sat Sandarbha. So you think this is some leisure reading, some newspaper. You just read like that. You're flipping the pages, what are you doing? Then Param Gurudev was very silent. He didn't say anything. Then Ananda Vasudev said, are you understanding anything what's in this book or what? It was just time passed. Then Param Gurudev humbly said, you can ask me any question. Any question in this book you ask regarding any topic, I'll answer. Then Ananda Vasudev said, oh really? So okay, what is Sanan Bhakti Tattva? Praman Tattva, Prameya Tattva, Upasya Tattva. All these different difficult tattvas he began asking questions. And Param Gurudev, quoting from the Sandarbhas, he answered all these things. Then Ananda Vasudev, he was silent, he couldn't say anything, he became shocked. Then he thought to himself, I thought Vinod Bihari was just a manager. But now I realize he was very, very learned. So he told Prabhupada, actually Vinod Bihari, he is very, very learned actually. And Prabhupada was smiling. Of course he is very learned. He is my eternal maidservant, Vinod Manjari. How he will not be learned? And then Ananda Vasudev said, maybe he could write some articles for the Gaudiya. And Prabhupada said, yes, excellent suggestion. So then the order came back to Vinod Bihari that Prabhupada is ordering you to write some articles for the Gaudiya. And the topic should be on Mayavadism. At that time, Prabhupada was smashing with Mayavad like anything. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's statement that unless Mayavad is to be uprooted from this world, then Shuddha Bhakti cannot flourish. Especially in the sadhak, in the heart of the jiva. If Mayavad, any trace of Mayavad is there, Shuddha Bhakti can never manifest there. So the order came, then Param Gurudev began writing article on Mayavadism. Began researching. The more he began to write, the more he began to research, he began realizing this is not a small topic, this is a vast topic. So by the time he ended, he was already like 150 pages. The whole book. And he gave the essay, he gave the book to pretended. They showed it to Prabhupada. Prabhupada showed it very, very happy. He said, publish it. But Prabhupada, how he published it? It's not an article, it's a book. Then Prabhupada was smiling. He do it in installments. For them, that was done. Installments, every issue of the Gaudiya. Gaudiya at that time was a weekly magazine in Bengal. It was the flagship magazine of Prabhupada. And then every weekly, then he would publish that Mayavadi Jivani, the history of Mayavadi in that. Prabhupada was so pleased with Param Gurudev, his scholarly abilities, he donated all his books on Vedanta to Param Gurudev. Gave everything. Two followers of Prabhupada were known for their scholarship in Vedanta. One was Param Gurudev and the other was who? The original Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. Prabhupada gave him the money. He was a householder. He gave him the title Bhaktivedanta. He was known as Bhaktivedanta Prabhu. Abhaycharan Bhaktivedanta. That's why Param Gurudev and Prabhupada, they both teamed up. After the disappearance of Prabhupada, they both teamed up. And they began smashing all the opposition parties. So much that they even they came to Bhakti Rakshak Siddha Goswami begging, oh please do something. And even Bhakti Rakshak Siddha Maharaj had to intervene. Oh, they're requesting, they're willing to withdraw the case, but please withdraw our articles. They used to speak so strong. Irrefutable logic. Later when Ananta Vasudeva Sundari and the Vijayana, they went against Prabhupada, they fell down, they wrote a book called Achintya Beda Beda. Param Gurudev, with the same title, he wrote his own article, Achintya Beda Beda. Really smashing their conceptions. They tried to establish that Mahaprabhu started his own sampradaya, that is not a part of the Madhva sampradaya. And that red cloth should not be wear, so many nonsense things. Prabhupada, Gurudev has published all those things in his Prabandha Panchakam. So, therefore, Param Gurudev was serving Prabhupada in this way. Such an amazing seva. And then, ultimately, when there was time for the disappearance of Prabhupada, then they wanted to take Prabhupada here and there to Calcutta, this and that. Param Gurudev began roaring like a lion. He said, no, Prabhupada will be given somebody where in his dearmost place? Lotus feet of Giridhari, here in Rajpattam. Then Prabhupada was brought to the garden behind Giridhari, and then Param Gurudev along with his godbrother, everyone, they placed Prabhupada in the Samadhi. And then when the Prabhupada was covered, then Param Gurudev fainted that time, he fell unconscious. So Param Gurudev was served, took his life in his hands, he served Prabhupada like this. He is the ideal Guru Sevak. Ideal Sat Shishta. We see examples how Jiva Goswami served Rupa Goswami, how Narottam Das Thakur is serving Lokanath Das Goswami, how Raghunath Das Goswami is serving Mahaprabhu, Sarat Damodar Goswami, Rupa, Sanatana, how he is serving. So, Baladev Vidyabhushan, how he served Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, how Prabhupada served Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And we can see how Param Gurudev served Prabhupada. And after that we see how Gurudev served Param Gurudev. Now how the Vaishnava they are fulfilling Gurudev's mission, serving Gurudev. These are all great great beams of light, great inspiration for all sadhaks. We hear about the life history of our acharyas, we hear about their jivani, their teachings, then some inspiration will come in the heart. Even more than hearing about Bhagavan's own katha, inspiration you'll get from hearing about the katha of our acharyas, our Guru Varga. Especially when we hear about Param Gurudev, Prabhupada, Gurudev, they're so close. They're direct family. We are directly in their line. Therefore it is very, very helpful for the sadhaka. Therefore this kind of katha, this kind of teaching, this kind of path, and if we hear, one will become inspired to enter into the path of Raghunaga Bhakti. Bhagar Madhuri Lila, Logamoyi Shraddha will awaken in the heart. The two kinds of Shraddha, Sastriya Artha Avaradhanamoyi Shraddha. One Shraddha that is firmly fixed on the belief in the words of the scriptures. Whatever the scripture says, we follow that, and faith is in the scriptures. Faith in the word of Hari Guru Vaishnava. But one is Bhagavan Madhurya Lopamaya, hearing the sweet pastimes, Katha, Bhagavan's Katha and his parikaras. You hear that Katha, then this kind of greed will enter in the heart, following their footsteps. Anugrahaya Bhaktana Manusim Deham Asthaya. Bhadate Tatvisha Krida Yakshutva Tatparo Bhagat. Just by hearing about this Katha, then Tatparo Bhagat, instantly one will want to enter and following their footsteps, enter into onto this path, Bhagavad Dharma. So, in the Vyas Puja, if you read the Param Gurudev's biography, must be at least 10-15 different places he is given different explanations of Vyas Puja there. How they, because every year, from all the way from Param Gurudev's birth all the way to his disappearance in 1968, that is 1898 to 1968. Every year where they celebrated Vyas Puja, all the preaching he did everywhere, when it's all mentioned there. And especially the Vyas Puja celebration, Gurudev would give some elaborate descriptions there. How they formed. The meaning of Vyas Puja, Vyasdev, his contributions, Vyas Panchak, everything is there, very nice. But if you have a chance, please don't miss this opportunity to read Param Gurudev's biography. If you have to choose one book to read, then read this book. It contains everything. It is complete, it is perfect. And his Gurudev, all moods. Not only Param Gurudev's moods are there, but Gurudev's own moods are there. Because Gurudev, it is like, it is said that Nigama Kalpataru Galitam Param, Sukha Mukha Amrit Drava Samvidam, Vivada Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam, Muhur Ahor Rasika Bhubi Bhavuka. The Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of Vedic literature. If the Vedas are compared to be like a tree, then the fruit of that tree is Srimad Bhagavatam. But now this Bhagavatam is even more relishable because Shukadev Goswami has tasted that fruit. It had a palate, it can taste the fruit. Then what happens? That fruit becomes more sweet. Scientists, they say, because there's some enzymes in the beak of the palate. So when it bakes the fruit, then the enzymes, and then it ripens the fruit more, it makes it more sweet. But the reality in this analogy is described that because the Bhagavatam is relished by Shukadev Goswami, Radharani's parrot himself, eternal Brajvasi. When the eternal Brajvasi is there speaking the glories of Radha and Krishna, then they really know the glories. They know the sweetness of Braj, because they are there in Braj. So therefore the Bhagavatam, the real sweetness of the Bhagavatam is manifest. Therefore Param Gurudev's life and his teachings, Param Gurudev did so many activities, but who would know about them and know the real deep meaning and the sweetness behind them if Gurudev had not spoken them? So when Gurudev is writing this book, then he is putting all his own moods in there, his own Guru Nishtha. Therefore, anyone who reads that book, then deep Nishtha not only in Param Gurudev will awaken, Prabhupada, a whole Guru Varga, also in the Lotus Lips of Gurudev. Also, Bhaktivinoda Vama Goswami Maharaj, Tribhuvan Goswami Maharaj. Gurudev given brief descriptions of them also, their life there also. So very, very wonderful. The Vaishnavas have said that in the evening they'll come and they'll speak Katha. So they said, we should stick to schedule, not make late, so we'll stop here today. Praying to the Lotus feet of Guru Padma, Param Gurudev, Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Param Guru Varga, that we may always remain under their shelter. Remain fixed at their lotus feet, that they may bless us, that we may make some little advancement towards the ultimate goal of attaining this Braj Bhakti. Vancha kalpadrupastha kipa sandhu bevaja paditana pavanabhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namo nidai gaur namanande Hari Om. Jai Shri Guru Pada Padma Ki Jai, Guru Parampara Ki Jai, Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Jai Param Gurudev Shubha Vyas Puja Titi Maha Mohantu Ki Jai, Deepangari Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai, Jai Krishna Prabhupada Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Harinam Sangeetam Jananda Vedi Vaishnavini Jai, Gaur Namanande.